Our Cube Fit Mania challenge, trivia challenge, is coming up on January 22nd. So you will have, all you need to do is attend Cube Fit classes like you're doing. And then at the end of the class, we will pull up a question of the day. You will answer that question and you get to keep track of your own points. At the end, you will submit your points for a chance to win some at-home gym equipment. So it's a fun one. It doesn't require registration. You just need to join the classes like you're already doing. So I'm going to pull that waiver down and we're going to get moving. So as I mentioned, you do not need any equipment today. If you're on a surface that you don't mind bare feet on, you can do that. Sometimes balance is easier without big shoes on. If you have really thick running shoes or something, it can be trickier with balance. So we're going to get started. I'm going to tilt my camera down a little bit. We are starting with some easy ankle rolls, but they do require some balance already. So starting off with a bang, you are going to roll your foot in whatever direction you want. You're making a big circle with that ankle. If you need some extra support, go ahead and just lean on your desk chair, your desk, a wall, whatever you've got. Go ahead and reverse that circle. Our ankles have a lot to do with balance. So when we balance, oftentimes you'll find that you're kind of shaky and you'll notice your foot kind of rocks side to side. That's exactly what we want it to do. So those are all those little muscles in your ankle. Go ahead and switch feet, helping you balance. So each one is firing at a different time, which is why you feel that movement. So we want to get to a point where those muscles are strong enough to hold that movement and you don't feel as unstable. Go ahead and reverse direction. Talking and drawing a circle with my foot is not very easy, so I'm trying my best. Good, just a couple more here. And then you'll plant that foot on the ground. So from here, I want your feet nice and parallel right underneath your hip bones. And we're going to start by just lifting our right toes. So you're keeping your heel planted. You're going to lift your right toes off the ground, release them, and then switch. Left toes come off. So if you're looking at my side view, my right toes come off, my left toes come off. My legs stay nice and straight. And all this is doing is strengthening your shin muscles. So a lot of times we'll strengthen our calf muscles and we won't activate our shins. And our shins are very important when it comes to balance. So while you're moving here, you want to make sure you're not starting to lean forward. This can be kind of an awkward movement. We don't lift our toes without our heels a lot. It's a small movement and the rest of your body stays nice and still. Good. We're just alternating here. The slower you go, the more endurance you're challenging that shin with. So you want to kind of lift it and drop it with control rather than letting it fall to the ground. Lift and drop. Nice work. We've got 3 more. Or just make it even. If you're with me, that's what makes it even. Good work. Now I'm going to turn to the side. You can stay right where you are as long as you have room behind you. We're going to move to activating our glutes. So I want you to have soft bend in your knee. You're going to engage that core, which just means pull your belly button towards your spine, or imagine someone's about to punch you in the gut and you brace for impact. You want to hold that engaged core. We're going to take our right foot and kick it back and take it forward. Notice when I kick back, my body doesn't arch. So it's a small movement. You're just using that glute muscle to lift the leg and lower it. Now you've probably noticed this also takes balance. So if you need support at any time, feel free to grab the wall, the chair, whatever you need. Lift and lower. Now you'll notice that supporting leg, so your left leg, is working too. So if you're like me, you feel that work in your glute, maybe you feel it in your quad. That's exactly what we want. We have 2 more here. Last one, and then we'll switch sides. So although when we balance, our feet are the thing that we probably notice the most, our cores and our glutes have a lot to do with our balance. So when we are trying to maintain balance for a long period of time, it needs to come from the center of our body. So we have to engage the core and engage the glutes, finding a balance between the two to hold our body where the most weight sits, nice and steady and in the center, over the center of our body. And we'll find that in a little bit. So that's why we're engaging and activating those glutes. One more. Good. Come back center. Both feet are planted, and we're going to start to march. So you're lifting one leg and then the other. Back to that idea of control now. When we lift, we're lifting with control, and when we set down, we're in complete control. So without control, your foot's going to slam down on the floor, and then the rest of your body is all thrown off, and the balance doesn't stick. So you want to engage that core as your leg lifts, and then lower it, which minimizes the movement in the upper body and the lower body. So when I lift my left leg, I'm not sinking into my right, I'm lifted. My core is engaged, my glute is engaged, and now I'm in full control. Now, balance is very much a mental thing, especially if you've ever had an injury from a fall that may have been caused by a loss of balance. Your mind is trying to protect you from ever being off balance again. So it might be nice to have something for stability, even if you don't use it, just for a peace of mind that you know you can catch yourself. As we do this more and more, you'll become much more confident in your ability to hold yourself up. So we're marching here, we're strengthening our core. We're also getting our glutes ready to hold us for longer periods of time. So we're just here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and relax those legs. Shake it out if you need to. We're going to get ready for our balance challenge. So today we're starting nice and easy. Our right foot is going to be planted, and I want you to just come up on your left toes. So they're like a little kickstand for now. We're lifting up through that left side. So we want our quads to be active, our glutes to be active, our core to be active, because we're lifting from our foot all the way up to our body so that the balance sits in the center. From there, I want you to turn your left heel to rest on that right leg, so the inside of that right leg. This might be enough for you today. So if you need to, just stay right there. If you're ready for a little bit more, you're just going to pick that left foot off the ground. So the toe is just hovering, and you're here. You're trying to hold it as long as you can. If you're ready for a little bit more, you're feeling stable, you're going to start to pick that leg up even higher. You're just coming to hip height. Maybe you're a little bit lower, that's okay. I have my left foot flexed, and I'm holding here. My core is engaged. I'm still active through that right side. My chest is open. If it helps, you can put your arms out to the side. Sometimes that helps on your hips. And then find a still spot to stare at right in front of you. You're holding here as many times as you need. Set the toe down, come back into that position, whatever variation you've chosen. We're going to try for 10 more seconds here. Breathing as you hold. You've got 4. And rest with control, set that left foot down. Good work. Shake it out. That's a lot of intense little work in both of the legs. So take a second to kind of get the wiggles out. And then both feet will start back on the ground. We're shifting our weight now to our left. So our right comes up on its toe. We're lifting through that left side. So my quad is active. I'm pulling my kneecap up. My glute is active. My core is active. My shoulders are relaxed, not up in my ears. To start, I'm just going to turn that right heel towards my left leg. Now your balance on from side to side could look very different, especially if there's been injuries in the past. So just take it nice and slow, even if you were able to lift your leg all the way up on the other side. From here, I'm staring at a spot that's not moving. I'm going to try to hover that right toe over the ground. Maybe I stay here. I'm starting to feel a little wiggle in my ankle, which again, remember, is fine. It's just those little muscles firing. So just pull that core in a little bit more if you're feeling that wiggle. Maybe your arms go out. And if you're ready, you start to raise that right leg. The highest you'll go is hip height. You're going to hold here. Make sure you're breathing nice and slow, gradual breaths. If it's a mental battle for you, you're reminding yourself over and over again, you can do it, you can do it. You're in a safe environment. You've got your support right there. If you need to reset, you set that right toe down and come back to it. We're holding for 10 more seconds. Stick with me, you're almost there. 5. And rest with control. Shake it out. And that is all we have for today. Thanks for joining me for our first balance break. I will see you guys next week.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Kimber.
This was great.
Happy New